E3 2023 is a couple of months away from now, and we know for a fact that Nintendo, Microsoft, nor Sony is going to be at that event because, for the most part, it seemed like E3 has lost its luster, especially within the past couple of years, because I think we've had two events that have been canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And honestly, I think this is going to be the first physical E3 event that we've had in quite some time. I believe the last one that we had, which was back in 2021, that was done solely online. But this one, there's going to be people at the actual event and all that stuff, mainly because, more people in America got vaccinated and everything. So for the most part, everything has gone back to normal. But as far as who's going to be at E3 2023, I'm not exactly sure what video game companies are going to be there. But I'm pretty sure there are people who are hoping that Electronic Arts is there, and hopefully they talk about or show some type of trailer for Dragon Age 4. And for those who don't know, I think Dragon Age 4 is basically a game that people have been waiting for almost a decade now. The last game in the series came out back in, I believe, 2014, Dragon Age Inquisition, and it was a game that a lot of people thought was great. It exceeded their expectations and went above and beyond in terms of improvements in comparison to Dragon Age 3. And there were so many things that people loved about Dragon Age Inquisition. You had endless customization options. You can customize your character's voice, his race, his attributes, his specialties. And you also customize the attributes of, I guess, the followers and the main character as well. You could get at least 200 hours of gameplay from Dragon Age Inquisition because there was 40 endings or something like that. And that was something that definitely added to the replay value of that game. And the game had 3 different expansion packs after its release back in 2014, which has made that game playable for nearly the past decade now. And I do feel that Dragon Age 4 is a game from EA that a lot of people are waiting to hear more about and waiting to see. And I don't think it's going to be, if it does come out, I don't think it's going to be this year because we haven't seen anything for the most part in terms of gameplay footage. We have no idea what the story is going to be about. We don't know what new features is going to be included. A lot of people are hoping and expecting the game to come out next year because I think 2024 is going to mark the 15-year anniversary of the Dragon Age series because the series got started back in 2009. And if we don't get a Dragon Age 4 in 2024, then Electronic Arts should at least consider remastering the original Dragon Age game from 2009. And even though Dragon Age Origins is not, I guess, quite as popular as Inquisition, a lot of people got into Dragon Age Origins, and it's something that I think, as an RPG, it's something that really stood out because the gameplay style and just the way everything was designed made it appear unique in comparison to a lot of RPGs that we see today, because for the most part, we just get action RPGs. And I'd say around the late 2000s, early teens, it kind of felt like we were transitioning away from turn-based RPGs, and action RPGs started to become more popular. They began to increase in popularity throughout the teens decade. And I honestly feel like Dragon Age Inquisition is up there with the likes of Skyrim and The Witcher 3, which also came out back in the early teens. I wouldn't go on record and say that Dragon Age Inquisition was better than Skyrim, because Skyrim was probably one of the best action RPG titles of the teens decade. And not only that, it sold way more. And I feel like it's a game that you could play today and it would still stand the test of time. And I do feel that the visuals of Skyrim were more superior than that of Dragon Age Inquisition. That's just my personal opinion. And don't get me wrong, I'm not taking away anything from the Frostbite Engine 3 because the graphics and all that stuff look sharp, and it was a pretty fun fantasy game to play. But I do feel that the visual quality of Dragon Age Inquisition could have been better. If it resembled that of Skyrim, it would have been addictive. It would have been awesome. I mean, it's addictive in of itself, but for the most part, I don't know. It's just that's just my personal opinion. But a lot of people are waiting for Dragon Age 4. We have no idea when that game's going to be released. Or we can at least expect that it's going to be on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and Microsoft Windows. And it probably wouldn't be a great idea to make it backwards compatible, because at this point, the PS4, the Xbox One, they're both old. I mean, like, I think at this point they're like a decade old now, because I think both those game systems came out during the fourth quarter of 2013. And honestly, I do feel that, a Dragon Age 4 game is something that would be a huge attraction if it's released in a year where there's a lot of high profile releases. Like, if we got a Dragon Age 4 this year, it would probably be overshadowed by countless other big titles that are supposed to come out this year, because 2023 is a year for big video game releases for the most part. We're still waiting for the likes of Final Fantasy 16. We're waiting for games like Street Fighter 6. We're waiting for games like I think Mortal Kombat 12 is supposed to come out later this year. And there are other big games that are supposed to be coming out this year. And if we did get a Dragon Age 4, it'd probably get overshadowed. So I do feel that Dragon Age 4 should definitely be released in a year where there isn't a lot of big video game releases that's going to happen. Because you look at Dragon Age Inquisition, it came out in 2014. And even though 2014 was not a great year for gaming or in relation to video game releases, a lot of people would probably go on record and tell you that was better than 2022. Because let's be honest, last year there was hardly any like big high profile releases, and the ones that we got basically were underwhelming or just disappointing altogether. Like the launch of Overwatch 2, a lot of people were pissed off about that at first, but I do feel that for the most part, Dragon Age 4 is definitely going to be one of those games that has the potential to surpass Dragon Age Inquisition, and definitely has the potential to be one of the best RPGs of the 2020s once Electronic Arts reveals the game. But we have no idea whether or not they're going to reveal the game this year or next year. But honestly, a lot of people are sick of waiting, and hopefully we do get to see the release of Dragon Age 4 before the start of 2025.